Good morning, children. In this session, I am going to describe you Chapter 6, Weather and Climate, and the topic is atmospheric pressure. Children, in the previous class, I had already explained to you regarding the distribution of temperature, heating of the atmosphere, and regarding the three main zones of the Earth. They are torrid zone, temperate zone, and frigid zone. So now, children, we'll discuss regarding the atmospheric pressure. Children, what is atmospheric pressure? The atmosphere exerts its weight as pressure on the Earth's surface. This is called atmospheric pressure. And the atmospheric pressure depends upon temperature, density of air, humidity, and altitude. Remember this. Again, I am repeating. The atmospheric pressure depends upon temperature, density of air, humidity, and altitude. So, children, you can see here, you can see the picture here of the heat zones. So, children, remember that these are the three main heat zones of the Earth. Heat zone, for example, torrid zone, it receives maximum insolation. Sun's rays are almost vertical throughout the year, and it is the hottest part of the Earth. Then temperate zone, it receives moderate insolation, and in this region there is moderate temperature. It is neither too cold nor too hot. And frigid zone, it receives minimum insolation, and the sun's rays are slanting throughout the year, and it is the coldest part of the Earth. Okay, children. So, children, the impact of atmospheric pressure on the Earth is very important, and the weight of an air column standing upon 1 square centimeter area of the Earth is more than 1 kg. Remember this. The weight of the air column is maximum at the mean sea level. So, uh, we must also know that the instrument through which we measure the atmospheric pressure is known as barometer. The normal atmospheric pressure at sea level is about 76 cm of the mercury column in the barometer, and millibar is the unit for measuring atmospheric pressure. The height of 3 mm of mercury column in the barometer shows 4 millibar of air pressure. Children, the atmospheric pressure also varies from place to place and time to time. And you must also remember that the it is due to the temperature of the air, it is due to the density of the air, and it is due to the height of a place above the sea level. And the amount of we can see the amount of moisture present in the air. So, one more thing that is very important is the air which rests on the Earth's surface, it expands when it is heated, and it rises upward and creates an area of low pressure. And in contrast, what happens when the cold air contracts, it becomes heavy and settles down. So this creates an area of high pressure. So uh, regarding the high pressure and low pressure, your concept should be clear. And the weight of the atmospheric pressure on our body is several tons, but we are rarely aware of it. This is because while air presses our body from all sides, our body also exerts counter pressure to balance it. So the tendency of the atmospheric pressure is that it decreases with an increase in temperature, it decreases with an increase in altitude. It Moist air exerts less pressure than dry air, and the Earth's rotation modifies its distribution. So these are the four main points regarding the atmospheric pressure or the tendency of the atmospheric pressure. Now, the topic is distribution of atmospheric pressure. So, children, here we can see page number 139. See, you can see here the picture altitude and atmospheric pressure. So, here we can see a smaller air column and the longer air column. Okay, and the average rate of decrease. So, atmospheric pressure is the highest at the sea level, but on the mountains, the thickness and density of air column is less, and hence the atmospheric pressure is also less. Okay, and the atmospheric pressure on the surface of the earth is not the same. This is due to the unequal heating of the atmosphere. Normally, the atmospheric pressure should increase from the equator towards the poles, but it is not so. So, it is modified by the earth's rotation. So, there are 7 major pressure belts of the earth, and these are not continuous. Okay, children. So, you can see here in the next picture, you can see here the 7 major pressure belts of the earth. Yes. So in the picture you can see here polar sterlize. Particularly you have to notice here the low pressure area and the high pressure area. Okay, children. So now the topic is about winds. So children, wind play a very important role, and we know that air that moves horizontally is called wind, and the vertical movement of air is called air current. So, if wind blows from the western side, it is called west wind, and if wind blows from the northern side, it is called the north wind. Children, the wind has different names which blows in the northern hemisphere, and the wind which blows in the southern hemisphere has got its different name. So the speed of the wind also varies greatly. If there is quick change in atmospheric pressure, it causes the wind to blow fast and or vice versa. So in 1805, a British naval officer named Sir Francis Beaufort devised a 13 level scale to represent the strength of the wind, and this scale ranges from absolute calm conditions to a hurricane. So the direction of the wind is hurricane is actually kind of a storm. Hurricane. So the direction of the wind is found with the help of a wind vane. We know that, and the speed of the wind is measured with anemometer. Remember this. So the direction and speed of the wind are never fixed. We can broadly classify winds into 3 major types, and they are planetary winds, periodic winds, and local winds. So children, what is a planet? What is planetary wind? So, children, some winds blow constantly in a particular direction throughout the year, and these winds are known as planetary wind. And these winds originate due to the presence of permanent high pressure and low pressure belts on the surface of the earth. So, the main types of planetary winds are trade wind, westerlies, and polar wind. In the picture, figure number 6.6, you can see here polar the name trade winds, the westerlies, and polar winds. These winds are given here on this picture, you can see. Then the next is periodic winds. Certain winds have a tendency to reverse their direction periodically. So these winds blow in a definite direction. Okay, children. So, and during a particular period of the day or year. So such winds are called periodic winds. They are caused by the unequal heating and cooling of the Earth's surface. So the examples of these periodic winds are monsoon winds and land and sea breezes. Okay, children. So next is local winds. So in many parts of the world, winds with special characteristics blow over small areas. So children, local winds blow in a small area and for a short time, and such winds are called local winds. And the examples of local winds are Lu, Chinook, Fohn, and Harmattan. Okay, children. Today I'm going to finish this topic, and in the next session we will study regarding tropical cyclone, moisture, evaporation, humidity, and condensation. Till then, goodbye.